the Government of Ontario introduced the Homeowner Protection Act 2024. This new act is designed to increase safeguards for consumers, provide greater transparency in the housing market, and provide for more housing to help get a handle on this runaway housing crisis. I'm Nico James-Bock, a broker with Royal LePage Signature Realty in downtown Toronto. In this episode of Brick by Brick, Building Wealth Through Real Estate, I outline the five aspects of the new act. The act, if passed, would number one, include banning registrations for notices of security interest, NOSIs, on title. A notice of security interest, or NOSI, is a notice that may be registered on the land registry by a business when it rents, finances, or leases certain goods or equipment installed on a property, such as a water heater, a softener, a furnace, or a HVAC unit. The ministry has seen an increase in the number of consumers impacted by having these registrations on title, which is often discovered when they try to sell the property or they seek additional financing. Since the early 2000s, the number of NOSIs registered on the land registry has risen from approximately 2,000 registrations per year to more than 58,000 registrations in 2023. There are approximately 350,000 consumer and commercial NOSIs registered on the electronic land registry in Ontario. In cases where the business misuses the registrations, consumers are often pressured into negotiating buyouts of these contracts for the equipment and services in its entirety, which can result in exorbitant payouts, a hefty bill, and increase stress for the homeowner. Number two, the second aspect of the Homeowner Protection Act is implementing a 10-day cooling off period for purchases of newly built freehold homes. Ontario is moving forward with a mandatory 10-day cooling off period on new freehold purchases. The 10-day cooling off period is a protection that is already in place for pre-construction condominiums uh, in Ontario. Extending this protection to newly constructed freehold homes will enhance consumer protection by allowing buyers a 10-day period to review and or cancel an agreement without penalty, leveling the playing field between Ontario's hardworking families and well-resourced corporate developers with a large team of lawyers. Ontario realtors recommend we commend the province for not extending this policy to resale homes, which OREA has long emphasized would negatively impact both buyers and sellers, as it would undermine certainty in resale transactions, which are typically between private individuals and do not often involve corporate developers and could lead to speculation. The government will consult naturally with consumer groups, the public, and the home builder sector through the Ontario Regulatory Registry in the near future on a cooling off period for new freehold homes. If approved, a purchaser could rescind their purchase agreement within a specific time frame, and builders would be required to disclose the cooling off period to purchasers. As part of the consultation, the government will also seek input on whether there should be a requirement that purchasers of all new homes receive legal advice on their purchase agreement. Which is highly recommended with regards to all purchases, not only resale, but in particular new home purchases when the environment is quite heated and buyers often feel pressured into making a decision immediately. The third aspect of this new act is consulting on illegal building and selling. So, Ontario plans to explore and consult on ways to protect consumers from risks associated with purchasing homes from illegal builders who bypass licensing requirements and they fail to enroll their homes with the Tarion in the Tarion program, which oversees Ontario's new home warranty and protection for all consumers. These illegally built homes tend to have more defects and pose a higher risk compared to those built legally. The province plans to hold consultations in early 2025, so in within a year, to develop recommendations to combat illegal building and selling practices in the province of Ontario. Tarion pays out significant amounts of money, significantly higher claims for illegally built homes, averaging 400 roughly 40, almost $46,000 per home, compared to 19,000 for legally built homes, for homes whose warranties began between 2006 and 2016. This initiative aims to create a fairer market for compliant builders and ensure better quality homes for buyers of new freehold homes. So it benefits everyone involved. The fourth aspect of the act: building more housing near transit. The big issue is transit and building housing that is easily accessible to transit corridors. The Ontario government has set an ambitious goal, I would say, of adding 1.5 million homes to the province's housing stock by 2031. This goal reflects the urgent need to solve Ontario's housing affordability crisis, one ultimately driven by too few homes for far too many people. The number of people that are pouring into the GTHA on a yearly basis is staggering, and the majority of them do come to Toronto and the surrounding areas, and there is at the current time not enough to meet the current demand, let alone the number that will pour into the city over the next 3 years. Um, uh, Ontario is taking action to help make it easier and faster, actually, to build more mixed use housing near transit, ensuring the province's historic and multi-billion dollar investments in transit are used to their full potential. To provide continued certainty for our building partners on transit oriented communities, so those located around transit corridors and projects. Ontario is proposing to exempt designated transit orientated oriented community lands from the immunity provisions in currently in the Planning Act related to the making, amending, or revoking of ministers' zoning orders. The fifth and final aspect of this new act is mandating public disclosure of a builder's history of canceled purchase agreements for newly built freehold homes. So, this is a welcome policy that will provide consumers with transparency and peace of mind. Together, these improvements will establish a higher standard for honesty, integrity, and professionalism in the home building and buying process. There are two pieces of existing legislation that is helping consumers. One is the Condominium Act in 1998, which already provides, as I mentioned previously, a 10-day cooling off period for the purchase of new condominiums from the builder. The second is the Home Construction Regulatory Authority. They can impose administrative penalties or on unethical practices of builders and vendors who unfairly cancel pre-construction projects or terminate a purchase agreement. Um, in last year's budget, protection for housing starts had Ontario building fewer than 80,000 new homes in 2024. But that number is now expected to be nearly 88,000. Still, it's not enough to satisfy demand. It is hoped that new policies and regulations that will be coming down the pike will help to accelerate construction because the demand is there, even though we are experiencing a lull in the demand and purchases of particularly the condo market, because there's more inventory in the condo market, but because of the high interest rate environment with which we find ourselves, um, plus the expectation that the interest rates will go down, a lot of buyers are sitting on the sidelines, which in my opinion is a mistake. The next two interest rate announcements will be June 5th, within a week. And the second last announcement of the year, or the third last announcement of the year, would be on July 24th. It's widely believed that the interest rate reduction will take place most likely on the July 24th announcement, but it'll be a small reduction, 25 basis points, so 0.25 percent, and that will not be enough to offset the gradual increase in prices leading into the fall market. 25.25 basis point reduction in anyone's mortgage is really negligible. Yet the increase in price, if purchasers choose to wait, would be significant. So it is my opinion that buyers should get into the market now. Um, Take up available inventory and explore those opportunities that are existing in the market. There are some sellers that have to sell. So those are the ones that will provide the best opportunity and the most reasonable pricing. Um, I have a question. Do you think that the measures outlined in the new act will help ease pressure that consumers are now feeling in this new economy when it comes to housing? So that is the question. You've heard my opinion. I certainly think that it is in the right direction, but I want to hear your opinion on these new measures. Let me know in the comments, or you can reach out to me directly through any of my channels. That's it for this episode of Brick by Brick, building wealth through real estate. I hope to get the figures for May 2021 within the next 5 days, and I'll be doing a podcast on the May numbers, which should be relatively close to what we've been seeing over the last 3 months. So that's it for now. I'm signing off. Ciao, ciao.